Look, I'll start with a bit of the introduction about myself. I'm currently managing a group of the business analyst as well as a process analyst and project analyst in Optus. Personally, I started in a Cisco graduate program about 6 years, full-time MBA. Then I did my exchange program to UCLA, as well as a couple of months in London Business School, and then Melbourne Business School. I really love Sydney and Melbourne, and that was the reason that I decided to stay in Australia. First job in Australia, Optus as a processing improvement manager and a black belt, and those kind of the major program delivery. And then I has been approached by one of my MBA alumni to join Deloitte, specifically working on the corporate strategy as a program, like the senior manager, and but we're working on a program management delivery for the restructuring and related to corporate strategy. That was quite a while, and then Westpac remediation, and then now I'm landed here. So look, I would like to say that thank you for this opportunity, and I would like to use the next half an hour, and hopefully I can open another door for you that you can have a view of what the future of the project management look like. And we'll start with some of the data, and then I think that makes sense that when you see the importance of the project management, and those trends probably make more sense for you. And first data that you can see here is a corporate that use project management practice waste 28 times less money than their counterpart who don't have the PM practice in place. That's some of the data. 28 is a lot of money. And 80%, so by late of 2023, and 80% of organization will have an enterprise program management office or the project management office, and 11% increase of the compounded annual growth rate for the project management software in 2026. So what does that mean? So, which means that from me, and I think that it means that more and more companies or the executives or the leaders of the companies say the importance of the project management, and they say the differences that project management can make to their organization and to support their key product and services delivery. That's the differences. That was the reason that you say that 80% of the company by the late of the 2023 that have the whatever the levels of the maturity level of this EPMO, and majority of the companies, or they either the centralized at the enterprise PMO or the decentralized at the project management office, that 80% of company is keen to have that. And that drives, and that also drives that 11% of the increase of the project management software. You see that people see the differences of that, and then they're gonna invest more money to on the software, or say that the way that they can improve the project management. That's where that 11% come from. So we'll see the differences of project management and how important it is to the company. And I believe that those people that are either no matter what the role that you are currently working in your company, and you either contributed to the operation like a recorded business as usual BAU, or you've been involved in the key product and service delivery of the project. So project management is quite important to your day-to-day work as well. All right, we get to the trend. So we talk about the 10 trends on the project or program management in the next few years, or we're looking at the last year as well. There's no sequence in the day, there's no ranking. They're equally important. And I believe some of the items that here has been deep dived by other presenters, and they from different angles, but I don't really want to extend that too much. So first we'll have a look artificial intelligence and automation. And project management institution is a US very famous institution for project managers. And they noted that 81% of the professionals say that AI is impacting their organization. I'll give you one example. When I was in Deloitte, and I was a senior program manager looking at one of the clients that is the institutional banking remediation program. That was tough. There used to be 12 months of the program. That was quite interesting actually, that we what we did actually was pretty easy. We find the physical document that has been signed by the client, and then we compare what in the physical document with whatever in the system, and where the differences, if there is, then we mediate a customer. So that program has been like planned with ASIC update running on a quarterly basis, and that one has been running for around a year, 12 months, and another 6 months was ahead. At that time, the client side that the whole organization was running a record management, they start adopting AI as well as automation into the record management system. And we have been invited to watch a demo of the consumer side, and we see huge differences. And with this kind of the AI and automation, they were able to automatically grab the scanned version of it, and they were able to generate different kind of report and to identify potential risk of remediation. At the same time, on a weekly basis, they have the up-to-date data in order to give you some of the views of those other remediation risk, have different various of the remediation risk. They can give you potentially that what are the risks potentially will have in the next in the last 6 months, or say in the last 6 weeks even. So we saw much differences of it, and we were amazed because that's like that 12 months effort for like people physically use human labor to just comparing those information that can be done with this kind of AI and automation. I think that probably less than 6 months or less than 3 months. So that's basically, I think that that's definitely going to improve the ways of people's working. And also on the project management side, and I'll deep dive that a little bit more on the project management side later. Implementing strong cybersecurity measures, the second one. I think that as a people from Optus, I think everyone knows that what happened in the early this financial year, and you say that Optus reacted very professionally, that either the media's communications and working with the government and to make sure that the minimum impact to its client. But actually what you can see is just what was in the front end with all the people that with the communication, but at the back end that Optus actually invested a huge amount of money, not only review the fix the current cybersecurity problem, because first time we call this a cybersecurity incident. Second time, if you have any incident or security error, that's going to be end of the life or end of the company's reputation. So we spend a lot of money on that. And the second, we spend quite a lot of money in order to review all the like in the last 6 months, what are the programs being delivered, and what are those programs may drive a little bit the cybersecurity risk. And I can say a couple of programs has been withdrawn and to urgently fix some of the issues. And then now we're running I'll say that we're running a 6 years program with a huge number of the investment to looking at the cybersecurity as a whole in order to put Optus in a better position of doing that. That's millions of dollars on that. And at the same time, and Optus is doing a lot of communication and is working to build up a new ways of working in order for us to put a strong cybersecurity measures again as well. It's a journey, and I can say that continuously the company in the market are willing to spend more money on it. And this year, when we spoke on the next year financial year's initiative list with a corporate strategy, by that time that we also give the CEO also give the suggestions to each of the leaders in the team, like executive level, to ask them that you have your pocket money and just try to spend more money leverage on the cybersecurity items. So I totally agree that that's a trend, and 3 times increase. I think that probably a lot of companies will spend much more than that. And definitely cybersecurity is quite important. And it's a big trend for the project management in the next few years as well. The third one is a rise in the remote working. Look, in the last 3 years, we all experienced the remote working that I think that I'll give you an example here that I'll try to break them down. So how to manage the digital transformation project in a hybrid way. It's a very interesting item, when I had a look of one of the EY's document, the survey another day, and they surveyed some of the senior executives about the impact of the COVID in project management and how we'll be able to cope with this new way of hybrid working. We say hybrid working is you physically present in the office a couple of days a week, and you're working from home or remote working for the rest of the week, or it's just to provide more flexibility of the way that the people are working. And I think that from project management or like a digital transformation as an example here, it's quite important to find the right balance of it. That's the first dot point here. As you can see, it's to find the right balance. And to be honest with you, and agree that those say that 60% of the people take the survey believe that a physical present or meetings will be fundamental for the project success. So find the right balance is important, right? And so what we normally suggested for the people that kick off the program, that I would say that for the first 4 weeks, come talk to your face-to-face, come to the office, everyone sitting in the project room or war room together and have a chat with each other, grab a coffee together, have lunch together, talk to each other, try to build up that kind of the trust relationship with each other. And after 4 weeks, it really depends on business program manager or the project manager to decide that what is best way your team want to come together and do the communication on the wrong workshop. Find the right balance for each of the program. That case by case is quite important. And second is use various communication channels. And I think that's not only for digital transformation program, but I see the importance of the digital, because you have a lot of the items or the tools or the discussion need to be conducted, visualized. And for example, the pop-up, the web page, or how the product page going to look like, this kind of thing. And I'll give you one example that we start use Miro. Miro is one of the important product, and it's amazing that at the first of the COVID time that we had a bit of challenging around a workshop because we can't physically get everyone into the same room with a whiteboard to start mapping out the process or customer experience journey or even the customer journey to try to identify some of the pinpoint. And then we realized with those kind of the communication tools or channels, and we are able to run a workshop, and we easily map out the process. Everyone can put their sticky notes, and they can even capture the feedback, and we can always come back to where we were before. And it's a great tool. It's definitely improve the ways of people running workshop and the communication. And that's not only tools. It's a lot of tools at the tool that we're using today as together. It's quite fun. It's actually personally I quite enjoy to have that too. I'm thinking to introduce that to my team as well. When you run a project or when you're having a team lunch, that we actually have a Friday virtual team drinks, and we can use that way as well. I just think that just the various communication channels are quite important for the team building and building up the communication in the team as well. And also for the digital transformation program, it's very important. So we, like for us that I'm working in an enterprise PMO, that all the product, we are looking at all the key product and services delivery in the program, in the program delivery, I will say. Digital delivery is only part of it. So one stream, and we have logistic, we have warehouse, we have go-to-market, marketing, product, and all this kind of stream. And IT is another important stream as well. And we have the EPMO EPMO wasn't able to looking at the everything in the detailed view, but only looking at it in the helicopter view. And then the digital team and IT team that they do have the transformational management office, or they call a digital office management office as well, with people with a project analyst or some of the IT project delivery manager, that they do have a more right skill set in order for them to have a deep understanding and they are on the counterpart they need to deliver, which is quite important to the success of the delivery as well. And with a PMO and with TMO, and it's kind of the hybrid way of working, and the people can always combine together to make sure that the required functionality can be delivered on time. I think this is quite important, and I found it's a quite interesting example here in for the remote working. We'll just go back to trend. The demand for the emotional intelligence leaders, and that's another interesting part I would like to break down to everyone. As you can see, that what makes the project manager a good project manager, who is a modern project manager? I think that's something that I like to I'd like to bring some of the details to the team. And when I first joined as a project coordinator, when I first started, people used to tell me that a project manager more like assistant to the delivery, the facilitating. However, I always say that that's the differences between the good project manager and the like not very good project managers. And a good project manager, they know how to influence, and they know how to influence the outcomes, build relationships, and achieve the strategic goals through the delivery. They know how to look at the big picture, even dealing with the detail. They want to deliver, and at the same time, they know that what are the important to them. So I'll say that traditionally, as a project manager, when I was in Cisco, that we still use the scope, schedule, and budget or cost as one of the three triangles and for the project management. And I think that we are now leveraging the new technologies and say what can be automated and what are the new technologies that can be utilized in order for us to streamline much of what we can do the team for the paperwork, for the process improvement. And those are the things that can really help the project managers to be project influencers. But what I listed underneath it, I think that some of the softer skills or some of the skills that can't be replaced by a machine, and that is important for to be a good and a modern project manager. And I just quickly go through it. And you see the PM fundamentals, and so if you like as a project manager, that you have your professional certificate, and you know that what are the modules of delivery, and what is your methodologies to support you to deliver. And the business outcome is more like you know your stakeholder, you know your business, and you know that you know that relationship between the business unit as well, and you know who is your key stakeholder, and who can make the differences, and who is the best person for you to talk to. And I think this is the experience you today in this industry. And at the same time, I'll say that as a tackle, and people say that it's hard for you to move from tackle to banking, and true, and but it all takes the time for you to build up, and that's going to be your unique IP that cannot be replaced by a machine. And also the other side is ways of working, agile mindset, and basically we say that as a project manager, you have flexible approach, frequent revisiting and reevaluating and readapting along the way. And it's not only we need to align with agile delivery, but at the same time, the agile mindset is quite important as well. And the digital enabled. And also the problem solver. I think that try to solve the problem and try to come the skills for you to be able to solve the problem and try to create a win-win situation is a bit of challenging, and it's a bit of the really important characteristics for the project manager, for good project manager as well. And last but not least, the human factor. I think this is the kind of thing that are always there for the modern project manager, for the good project manager, not only for the modern project manager. And they need to be motivated. They can bring the creative and innovative kind of the mindset to the team. They have the ability to build up a healthy delivery environment to the team as well. And at the same time, you have the sympathy. You have the good emotional intelligence when you come to the certain stressful situations, and you are not the people that are like stressful. You are the people who try to solve the issue and move things forward. I think those are the things that like always a good characteristics for the PMs, for the good PMs. We come back to the trend again. And the increasing focus on the data analytics or the data-driven project management, I think is quite important. And some of the projects when I worked on as a there's black belt has been involved in, and we can get it up to date the data, and that's not only help us, like in agile delivery environment, is quite important as well, because you have to up-to-date report, and that's gonna help you, the project team, the sponsors, to make the right decision. Every decision when at the end of each of the sprint. Business normally don't do it. They count what they are looking at, but those data can really, really help the project to track the status of it. Hybrid project management, this is different ways from hybrid ways of working. This is the combination of the waterfall and agile delivery. And people familiar with this kind of module, you know that traditionally waterfall and starting, I think that the idea starting from 1991, and people start talking about doing more flexibility to the delivery. It started with IT and technical delivery, and also implemented to all the other industries. What we call hybrid was because of for example, if you are the sponsor sitting in the room, I come to you and say that you tell me this is the product I'm going to deliver. I tell you I need a 20 mil. And I'm going to use agile way of delivery. I don't really have the plan on the page. I have a business case here, what in the scope, what is not scope. But look, to be honest with you, I just think that I'm gonna use a sprint to deliver it. And you bring enough confidence. If you were the sponsor, are you gonna give me the 20 mil? No, you don't, because I don't really bring enough confidence to you. So that's where that we need at a high level. You waterfall, you bring more confidence on the project management plan and on the delivery plan. And we are going to deliver a project in those phases. Here is the high level plan. Here is where we're going to, then here is the timeline that this is how we're going to hit the deadline. And with those kind of the resources. And can ask 20 mil, here's the breakdown structure. And then you bring more confidence, not only to the sponsor, but also for the stakeholders that are going to support the delivery as well. So we'll see majority of the time that a company is keen to use a hybrid delivery module, waterfall on top, and you run agile sprint underneath it. But look, for digital program and the purely IT programs, this can be quite different. Number 7 is increasing the emphasis of the softer skills. I think that I mentioned that before. To be a modern project manager, that what you need to do is really to have emotional intelligence. Those are softer skills, and you need to always practice, no matter what kind of role that you are playing. That's going to benefit your career at the same time that you bring the benefit to the organization as well. Number 8 is projects and organizational strategy come together. Again, this is something that we mentioned earlier, that when you work on the detail, you're also looking at the big picture, right? When you look at when you're doing your project delivery, or when you specifically, even that you're working on this more technical part, or you're just doing a reporting today, or you're fixing a bug, and you know which part you're contributing, and you know that and what are the actions that I'm doing, or the tasks I'm doing contribute to one of the strategies the company is looking at. For example, customer experience improvement. For example, cost cutting. For example, revenue increase. Those are the things that has been like directly or indirectly impact the strategies of your company. Having that ability and is quite important, specifically when you work on the program. You know, basically like you know that what I need to be looking at, what is my priority. That's basically the guidance of everything you are doing. You are taking as a priority of the tasks. Cloud first approach becoming the standard, and I'm going to break them down with all the AI's data and automation. And the reason why I put in there for the project management was because I think that they are impacting each other, and on the project management area that they are impacting each other and making the positive impact as a continuous improvement delivery kind of the module. From data and automation, that I would say that then as we mentioned that before, that a lot of things with the combination of the data, automation, and AI, and the project was able to generate the performance insights more frequently. For example, I want a weekly report. Monday morning, I'll get it, or Sunday night, I'll get it, and the next morning when I have it before my stand-up meeting, I have a look at it, and then I tell all my stakeholders where am I, and what are the things that we need to start looking at. Or before I go to ASCO, and I have the high-level kind of reporting and generated every Tuesday morning. Then in the afternoon, when I present to the exco that executive knows exactly what is happening of all the programs underneath my portfolio, and then you have big picture knows that, oh, okay, and I'm hitting that goal, and those are the product and services I'm going to deliver, which gonna drive the percentage of the revenue increase. And also they helping you to make the estimation and a prioritization as well. And basically, for example, when we're looking at the next financial year's initiatives, and you have the envelope of the bucket of money that each of the team can use, but AI and data can use the combination of what currently the trend or some of the available data in the market with our competitors and some of the popular data, and even the competitors not only in Australia but all around the world, they can generate give us some of the forecasting and a prioritization for us to rely on in order for the team or the executive to make the decision. And also enable the data visualization is quite important as well. Interesting, and people like to say the chart or say the pie chart, or they say different kind of the graph. They don't really like to say all the data combined together. So, and then I say that starting from Tableau back to the day, and combined with the data and AI, that is definitely provided the differences of it. And then we move to the cloud, and more and more companies and like we say that remote working together in a remote working and cybersecurity, and move everything to the cloud. And the companies with the modern technology and the organizations that's looking for the cost-effective measures that do not sacrifice functionality or performance of the business. I think that that's where the cloud comes from. And I think my previous presenter just deep dived on that, and I think that I just keep it low key here. And with all these changes, that say that it's quite likely that a cloud-first approach is going to become the new standard to manage project intelligence organization everywhere, and I totally agree with it. Automating low-value added tasks, I say that is quite important as well. And we never close the door of automating the work that it can be automated. Some of the project managers say that, oh, I can just do it in 10 minutes, but I would suggest still automate it, because you will beneficial on the program delivery as well. So definitely those are quite important part of it. And I think I'm tracking my time quite well, 3 minutes. And I think last but not least, the advanced resource and project management software is quite important as well. Jira, Confluence, those are the combination tools. And I like to say all the other tools can provide a lot of flexibilities, and a lot of companies start using that. And it's quite important, and it's quite interesting to see those booming of the software in the market as well. All right, that's all my pack. And for the last few minutes, I would like to share a quote to you. I like the writer Stuart Brand, and I would like to share with every one of you, once a new technology rolls over you, if you are not part of the stream loader, you're part of the road, and I like it. Thank you so much for your time today.